full pass on a Wednesday after, after a 60-minute game where we had to play all 60 minutes. Hey, it's a little challenging. It's trying mentally, to get yourself back right, and you still kind of hurting. I know a lot of guys on the team hurting, and still you put on the full pass and you go out there and you compete because that's who we are.
Sean and Bobby both mentioned how proud they are of you and the leader that you've become.
Right.
How have you, is it being more comfortable now that you've got 6 years in the league? How has that kind of evolved for you in terms of just making sure that you're asking questions and just trying to help them through?
I mean, I really attest a lot of my maturity and just my growth to my kids. Not having kids and having to be the head of a household and a leader and trying to guide them, that's kind of then trickled over into football, and then I done become more patient and more, I guess, observers and paying attention to different things. And I really can attest just having kids, and I don't know what specifically they do, but they got a weird way of make you grow up real fast. So.
And I know Justin Fields and Lamar are not the same. Henry Brees Hall are not the same.
Right.
Back-to-back weeks with that dynamic of the running quarterback and the running back.
Right.
How, I don't want to say easier, but how does that help kind of blend one week into the other with the same type of attack?
I just think that gives us an opportunity to go out there, and it's not the same duo, but it gives us another shot at it. And I think if we can take that and run with that, it just gives us another shot to play against that kind of dynamic duo type of deal. So.
How much are you able to take away from that Lions game when Aaron Glenn was on the other side there going into this Jets matchup?
Whoa. Jesus, sorry. Yeah, they must have. Obviously we'll watch it. I think it's a different outfit. They got some absolute studs on this defense. Obviously their front is really solid. They get after the quarterback really well. They work together really well, and their front and the back end are working in unison right now. So we're gonna have our hands full and try not to. We only have one game of tape, so we gotta trust our base rules and be prepared for whatever they can throw at us.
Josh, when you after you watch this film and done all the breakdown, when you're done with that, do you reflect on the game the other night and just realize how many things had to go right for that to end up happening? A lot of stuff happened in that game to happen what happened.
Yeah, well, I think I've said it in some of these interviews before. Of sometimes you need the ball to bounce your way, and it did on Sunday night. And just fortunate enough we can come away with that with a win. Now, obviously, that has no bearing or impact on next week's game, or this week's game, I should say, whatsoever. So, we gotta wash it and forget about it, and put our best foot forward this week.
Josh, Joe on Monday was kind of lamenting some of the 3 and outs. And you look at the end result, 41 points, and certainly not that the offense is broken. But what were the team meetings like on Monday? Because he took the tone of you guys had a lot to clean up despite scoring 41 points.
100%. I've always kind of lived under the fact that the film is never as good as you think, and it's never as bad as you think. So yeah, there's a lot to clean up, a lot of things that I can do better and be better at, and There's a couple times where ball was in harm's way. I got to clean that up. But yeah, just making sure that each and every play that we have our plan, we have our answers, and we go out, try to execute to the best of our abilities. Yeah, I think it's one being around the guys, having a good week of practice, making sure that we played a lot of plays on the offensive side of the ball, so making sure that we're getting our rehab work done and hitting the tubs and getting adequate sleep and recovery. So our focus is the next one, so that's where it's at.
Josh, there's been a few times when the quarterback sneak has been stopped. How confident are you still?
Very confident. I know sometimes at the goal line, defenses bring in some bigger personnel, and they gap down quite well. So we'll look at it, we'll learn from it, and we'll figure it out.
Kind of related, was talking to Joe Brady this week about 2-point conversions in general. They're down around the league, just like as a trend wide. Why are they so challenging? Like, what goes into that play that makes it so hard, no matter what the call is?
Well, it's a tight field. When you're down there, obviously you have the inline as another defender. What teams are doing defensively down there and playing some zero and zero sloop and having zone eyes and passing things off, and it just gets real tight. So got to be good with ball placement, got to be good with concepts down there, and making sure that again we're practicing those plays and when it comes down to it, making sure that we are converting on those. So I know we weren't good enough in that aspect this last game.
Josh, for first three quarters, things were sort of slow to develop. Keon Anthony, Matt Palmer, certainly not the case in the fourth quarter. To get those two guys going the way they were in that final quarter, just what can that mean for this offense moving forward?
Yeah, it means a lot. Anytime that we can get the ball into our playmakers' hands, especially down the field, it's good things for us. So again, we got to keep working hard, keep finding ways to get the ball to them, and start faster.
Specifically on Keon, though, we all know about the work with Fran, because he was unhappy about his season out of Sean, and Brandon sort of insinuated that he needed to be better. What have you seen since he's been back, and then how that manifested the other night?
I think just growth not just as a player, but as a person. Learning how to be a professional football player. He's in here as early as anybody, getting rehab and work done on his body, and doing all the little things right. So I think when you got guys that care about their job, do the little things right, they're there where they're supposed to be. Typically, good things happen, and that's just what you saw this game. Yes, I just think it's hard sometimes for our guys. We played, I think, almost 90 plays. It's a lot of stress on the body. So like I said, making sure guys are getting their rehab work done, and doing everything they can to feel physically as best as they can come Sunday. And playing a late game, and we had a Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's been a while since we've had a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. So just making sure that our schedules are in routine, and just again trusting the process. Not necessarily. I think we got a pretty good group in terms of where our focus is at.
Josh, could you sense the emphasis to make this a harder week here, even just on a Wednesday?
Yeah, I know. Coach talked about in the meeting room today, and this is it's a tough sport. It's not for everybody. You got to be a little sick to love this game, and we got some sickos.
Josh, you guys have won so many games. Do you think Sean has become adept at making sure that you guys don't float to New York on a high off that game, like bringing it down after wins by making sure that that's not what resonates into next week?
Maybe. I think he trusts his leaders on this team to do that for him, though. So I think, internally, as players, we're making sure of that too. Yeah, I think it's been a learned thing over the last few years, and just understanding when and when not to press, and when to just kind of calm the storm, and ride the wave, if you will. So just knowing that, in big moments, our defense, knowing that they're going to step up and make some plays for us, and then obviously when it's our turn, it's our job to make those plays, and just the confidence that I have in our guys.
Josh, obviously you guys have been teammates your whole careers, but with the player like him out, it felt like he was really disrupting things. When you're going up against someone who is doing that, how difficult does it make your job as a quarterback? Obviously,
Yeah, interior pressure is by far, I think, the hardest thing for an offense and a quarterback especially. And I know the edge guys get paid a lot, and they get after the quarterback a lot, but typically when you're able to step up into a clean pocket, you're living pretty good. Now when you're needing to step up and there's nowhere to step up because of interior pressure, that makes it really tough on us, and I think he's doing a great job of that, and we're going to need more of that going forward.
Josh, working with Terrell Bernard as co-captains, just how have you seen him evolve as a leader in the last couple of years?
I think just the weight that his words carry, it just it means a lot when he says something. Guys respect him, guys trust him. Again, another guy that's just constantly doing the right thing. He's in the weight room, in the training room, in the tubs, watching film at the same time. Just, again, the small things that aren't small things, and people notice that. Hey, guys.